You don't get a welcome party when you're born in Sparta. You get an inspection. A group of elders, men you've never met, men who smell like campfire and bad decisions, pick you up and look you over like you're a used car at an auction. Too small? Too weak? Too loud? You're done. They carry you to the edge of a cliff called Apothete and leave you there. No refund, no second opinion, no Yelp review for the Elder Council. But you make it. You're strong enough, loud enough, angry enough. Congratulations, you have passed your first performance review at age 0. Your mother holds you for exactly as long as Sparta allows, which is not long. She doesn't whisper soft things into your ear. She wraps you tight, looks you in the eyes, and says something that would get a therapist's voicemail completely full in any other civilization. She says, "Come back with your shield," or "on it." You are 7 days old. You have no idea what a shield is, but you will. At age 7, Sparta takes you. Not metaphorically. Not the system shapes you. Men come to your house and they take you. Your mother doesn't cry, at least not in front of you. Your father nods like this is completely normal, which, in Sparta, it is. You enter the agoge. Think of it as boarding school, except the beds are reeds you cut yourself. The curriculum is pain, and graduation means you're ready to kill someone before breakfast. Your new home is a barracks. Your new family is a pack of boys your age, all equally confused, all equally terrified, all pretending not to be. You sleep on the ground. You eat whatever you can. Some days that means stealing food from the kitchens, not because there isn't enough, but because Sparta wants you to learn how to take what you need without getting caught. Getting caught isn't punished because you stole, it's punished because you got caught. There's no DoorDash in ancient Greece. There's no late-night delivery. There's no sneaking to the kitchen at 2 a.m. and ordering gyros to your door. You learn to hunt. You learn to move silently. You learn that hunger is just your body asking a question, and your job is to answer it before anyone notices. Your feet are always cold. Your back is always bruised. Your ego, if you had one, is gone by week 2. Welcome to education, Spartan style. By 13, you are not a boy anymore. You are a project. Sparta has been building you for 6 years, and now the real work begins. Your body is changing, shoulders widening, jaw sharpening, muscles arriving in places they weren't before. But Sparta doesn't care about any of that. Sparta cares about one thing: what you do when everything goes wrong. So they make everything go wrong. Constantly. You are sent into the wilderness alone for days. No map, no compass, no find my friends. No one is tracking your location. If something happens to you out there, Sparta does not file a missing person report. Sparta assumes you either figured it out or you didn't deserve to come back. You figure it out. At 15, you are assigned to the Crypteia, the secret police of Sparta's darkest program. Your mission is to move through the Helot villages at night, silently, and eliminate anyone who seems dangerous. The Helots are slaves. They outnumber Spartans 10 to 1. Sparta keeps them afraid so they never organize. You are the fear. This is not a metaphor. This is your homework assignment. You return from those nights different, quieter. You stop flinching at sounds. You stop apologizing for taking up space. By 18, the agoge is done with you, and you are the thing it built. Not a soldier yet, something closer to a weapon that learned how to think. At 18, you officially join the Spartan army. No one shakes your hand. No one gives a speech. You just wake up one morning and the barracks feels different, because now it's not training anymore. Now it's the job. You live in the barracks, still. Even if you get married, which Sparta technically allows around age 30, you don't move in with your wife. You don't even use the front door. You sneak in at night, in the dark, like a burglar who happens to own half the house. You visit. You leave before dawn. Some Spartan men go years without seeing their wives in daylight. Sparta calls this discipline. Your wife probably has a different word for it. And your wife, she is not what other civilizations would call a wife. The night before your wedding, someone shaves her head and dresses her in men's clothing. She lies in the dark and waits. This is Sparta's idea of romance. Not flowers, not a ring, not a slow dance. Just, here is a woman who has been prepared to be as close to a soldier as a woman can be. Because softness is not something Sparta builds into anyone. You find yourself respecting her more than you expected. She never asked for any of this either. You fight in the phalanx, shoulder to shoulder, shield to shield, spear forward. Every man's survival depends on the man next to him. Drop your shield and you don't just die, you take your entire row with you. This is why Sparta has exactly one rule about battle: hold the line. Everything else is details. By your mid-20s, you've seen 3 campaigns. You've watched men you trained with since age 7 go down in the mud and not get up. You don't grieve loudly. Sparta didn't teach you how. You press your shield a little tighter, and you hold the line. That is how Sparta says, I remember you. By 45, you have been a soldier for almost 30 years. You've held the line in mud, in heat, in cold that made your hands stop working. You've watched the man to your left die and taken one step to close the gap without breaking stride. You've done everything Sparta asked, every single thing. And somewhere around 45, a quiet thought arrives. Not loud enough to be dangerous, just loud enough to be honest. You are tired. Not tired like you need sleep, tired like the thing that used to push you forward has been running on empty for a while now, and you only just noticed. The younger soldiers look at you the way you once looked at the veterans, with awe, with fear, with something close to pity. You see it in their eyes, and you recognize it because you wore the same expression once. You don't talk about it. Sparta never gave you the language for doubt. But at night, when your knees ache and the barracks is quiet, you find yourself thinking about the men who didn't make it back. Not with grief. Grief is a luxury Sparta never issued you. Just with the cold awareness that they held the line too. They did everything right too, and they're gone. You are 45 years old. You have been a weapon your entire life, and for the first time, you are not sure what you are being aimed at, or whether it matters anymore. And then the messenger comes. Persia is moving, and the number of men coming for you specifically, for this narrow strip of land between the mountains and the sea, is so large that when the scouts report back, they stop using the word army. They start using words like shadow and flood. Sparta sends 300. You are one of them. Leonidas picks you himself, not because you're the best fighter left. There are younger men with faster hands. He picks you because you have a son. Because if you don't come back, your line continues. Because Sparta is efficient even in the way it chooses who to spend. You don't feel honored, you feel located. Like Sparta finally found the exact right place to put you, and the place is a narrow pass where the math works in your favor and nothing else does. You arrive at Thermopylae, and you understand it immediately. The pass is so narrow that 300 men standing shoulder to shoulder are worth the same as 300,000. The mountain on one side, the sea on the other. And in between, just enough room for Sparta to make this fight fair. For 2 days you hold. Every wave breaks against your line. You stop counting the men you've put down. You stop feeling your arms. You stop thinking about anything except the next 3 seconds, which is all the Agoge ever really trained you for. Not strategy, not glory, just the next 3 seconds. On the 3rd day, they find the path around the pass. You know what's coming before anyone says a word. You've read enough battlefields to know what it looks like when the math stops working in your favor. Leonidas lets the allied Greeks go. He doesn't beg them to stay. He just nods and looks at you. You don't move. Not because you've stopped being afraid, but because you realize, standing there with a spear in your hand and an army behind every mountain, that fear was never the point. Fear is just the door. What matters is what you do after you walk through it. You are 50 years old. You have held the line for 2 days straight. Your shield arm stopped feeling like yours sometime yesterday. The man to your right went down an hour ago. The man to your left went down 10 minutes ago. You closed both gaps. You kept moving forward. There is a spear in your side. You noticed it, then you stopped noticing it, because there is still a line to hold, and your body has not yet received permission to quit. The Persians come from every direction now. You think of your son, not with sadness, not with regret, just a clean, clear thought. the way a man thinks of something he did right. He will grow up knowing his father stood here. That is enough. That is more than enough. Your knees hit the ground before your mind gives the order. You drive your spear into the earth and hold yourself up with it for 3 more seconds, because that is all the Agoge ever asked of you. Just 3 more seconds. Just 1 more line. Then the ground comes up to meet you, and the pass goes quiet. Back in Sparta, your son grows up hearing your name before he hears almost anything else. Not from a monument, not from a teacher, from his mother, who sits with him at night and tells him exactly what you did and exactly where you fell. He tells his children. They tell theirs. 200 years later, a poet carves 11 words into the stone at Thermopylae. He doesn't write your name. He doesn't need to. He writes, "Go, stranger, and tell the Spartans that we lie here, obedient to their laws." You were one man in a past that should have been forgotten, but some things refuse to die, not because they were written down, not because someone decided they mattered, but because they were true. You stood, you bled, you held. At the cost of your life, knowing full well it would be your last stand, you held that line anyway. Because you knew this: a man who thinks about the end can never become a legend.